Hello class, we're on to 6.4 triangle mid-segment theorem. So, starting off with our vocabulary, in your own words, write the meaning of each vocabulary term. So I have a mid-segment of a triangle. So think of mid, sounds very much like middle. So I have a middle of a segment that's in a triangle. So, in layman's terms, or in textbook terms, mid-segment of a triangle is a segment that connects the midpoint, there's an S on that. So mid-segment of a triangle is a segment that connects the midpoints of two sides of a triangle. Okay, so if I have a triangle and I want to cut this triangle in half on the sides, this is the mid-segment. Okay, so for this course, or for this section, you're going to need to know the midpoint formula. So remember that is x1 plus x2 all over 2 as your x-coordinate, and I have y1 plus y2 all over 2 as your x-coordinates. Don't forget your midpoint formula. So the triangle mid-segment theorem says the segment connecting the midpoints, so this part DE, is parallel to the third side and is half as long as that side. So that means this is half of it and they're parallel to each other. So that means when I connect these, they never touch. And it's half its length. So it says mid-segment DE, where these two are parallel, DE is half of AC. So let's try an example. Note which sides are also congruent as well. So I have triangle A, B, C, and DE is my mid-segment of the triangle. Okay, so let's say I want to find DE and AC is 36. So if AC is 36, how would I find DE? Well, it's half of AC. So if it's half of AC, that means DE is really half of 30. And 30 divided by 2 is 15. So that means line segment DE is 15. Now let's say I'm given EC is 4. So EC is the length of 4. So what would BE equal? BE would also be 4. Note by our triangle, the sides are always connected. So BE is 4. That means BC, the entire thing, equals 8. Let's try the other side. Let's say the whole thing is 12. So AB equals 12. So what would AD equal? Well, if DE is the mid-segment, so it cuts this in half, that means this must be half as well. So that means AD is 6. And because our theorem says that these two must be congruent to each other, that means DB is also 6. Okay? Awesome. So there's our example. So flipping over to the next page, I have extra practices. So 1, 2, and 3 says DE is the mid-segment of triangle ABC. Find the value of x. So I'm given BC is 28. I need to find DE. Well, I know that DE is going to be half of AC. And AC is given to me. So that means DE equals half of 28. And what is half of 28? DE is 14. So x is 14. Example 2, I have DE equals 1/2 of AC. I'm given DE though. I need to find BC. It's supposed to be B. So DE is 15 and equals 1/2 of BC. So that means I have to multiply by 2 on both sides. So that means 15 times 2 is 30 equals BC, or x. Then we have finding the sides here. So remember our Midsegment theorem says that this is 1/2 and these two sides must be congruent. So that means these two sides must be congruent as well. So that means x is 9. So there's our first two. Then I'm going to go down to number 6. We're going to skip back up, but let's try number 6. It says DE is the midsegment of ABC. So this is the middle of the entire thing. And FG is the midsegment to this triangle of ADE. I need to find FG. Well, let's look at this as a whole. Let's look at A, B, C, and DE. So that means that DE equals 1/2 of BC. So DE is 1/2 of BC, which is 52. And 52 divided by 2 is 26. So it means this is 26 now. Now let's look at the smaller triangle. So DE is now the base. So that means FG is the midsegment. So FG would equal 1/2 of DE. And DE we know is 26. So 1/2 of 26 is 13. So FG is 13. Alrighty, let's go up to number 4. I just thought we can do 1, 2, 3, and 6 because they're very similar to each other. Let's go on to number 4, where I have to find the vertices of the midsegment of a triangle. So let's go ahead and label our vertices first. And since our grid is very small, I'm going to scale this by a factor of 2, so that means each point is going to be by 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so on and so forth. So I'm going by a scale of 2. So just remember that as we're graphing our vertices. So A is -5, 6. So I have 2, 4, -5, and I'm going to go up 6, 2, 4, 6. It's A, and then B, I have 3, 8. So 2, 3 going up 8. And then C, I have 1, -4. So there's A, B, and C. And I need to find the vertices of the midsegment of the triangle. And how to do this is find the midpoints of each vertice. Okay? So I'm going to find the midpoint of AB, the midpoint of BC, and the midpoint of AC. So let's start off with the midpoint of AB. So remember, we're doing midpoint. We're doing x1 plus x2 all over 2, y1 plus y2 all over 2. Okay? So labeling our points, AB. So I have -5 plus 3 all over 2 are our x values. I'm going to add my y values. So I have 6 plus 8 all over 2. And this equals to -2 over 2 and 14 over 2. So I have -1, 7. And then we're going to do the same thing for the other two. So now I need to find the midpoint of AC. So AC, find the midpoint of AC. So we're looking at A and C here. So I have -5 plus 1 all over 2. Adding my x's, I have 6 plus a negative 4 all over 2. And this translates to negative 4 over 2. And 6 minus 4 is 2 over 2. And so I have negative 2, 1. And now I need to find the midpoint of BC. So I have 3 plus 1 all over 2. And I have 8 plus a negative 4 all over 2. So I have 4 over 2 and 4 over 2, which is the same as 2, 2. So if I were to graph these, it kind of looks like a flipped version of and scaled down version of our original triangle. So I have negative 1, 7. So I have negative 1 going up 7. This is 2, 4, 6, 7. See how it lies right on the line? Then I have negative 2, 1. So negative 2 and then 1. And then I have 2, 2. So here's our mid-segment of the triangle, our mid-segment triangle within the triangle. Alrighty. So finding midpoint for number 4. Number 5, it asks, what is the perimeter of DEF? Well, let's look at these as several different triangles. If I have A, B, and C, and BC looks like 45, and DE is the mid-segment of ABC. So I know that DE equals half of BC. DE then equals half of 45, and half of that is 22.5. So this is now 22.5. Now I'm going to do the rest the same for each of these. So if we were to take 38 and divide that by 2, we would get DF. Okay? So we know that DF is half DF is going to be half of AC. So you have this, and if you're still looking at ABC, DF is now the mid-segment. If you're looking at this as your base. So DF equals half of 38, and half of 38 is 19. So that means DF is 19. And then our last one, if we find FE, it would be half of BA. So half of 13 gives me 6.5. Okay? And to find the perimeter of a triangle, you add all sides. And so we just need to find all sides of this, and we did. So we have 22.5 plus 19, and I put 0.0 for decimals. And then we are also going to add 6.5, and we end up with 48 is our answer as the perimeter of DEF. Alrighty, that's going to complete our 6.4 notes. Do not worry so much on the other side. We'll hit that on another day, but you have the puzzle, so feel free to go ahead and practice. Thank you so much.